All right, hey guys, this is Ms. Lara at the Shape International Library. Since we're all stuck at home and I can't see you guys for STEM, we pulled out some of our kitchen science books and are doing a science experiment here that you guys can do at home as well. It's kind of gray out today, so we are playing with some colors and making a rainbow in a jar. You guys ready? Everything you see is stuff that you can get in your home kitchen. We have dish soap, blue or green works best, just for the colors. We have water. Here we did add food coloring. Our water is not normally this bright green. We have vegetable oil, and then we have rubbing alcohol. We added a little bit of food coloring here as well. Keep with the color theme, and also so that you can see the layers when we actually get into making the experiment happen. So what we're looking at is how these liquids mix or don't mix. It's based on how dense they are, how thick or how runny a liquid is. So something very thin, like the rubbing alcohol, won't mix as well with the dish soap. A very thick, sticky, not really runny sort of liquid. All right, this part, we're using our plungers, our syringes, because, science. Doing it at home, if you have an eyedropper or a turkey baster in your kitchen, that'll work just fine. The key is that you do this all very slowly. I know that patience can be a bit of a challenge sometimes, but if you do it too fast, your colors will mix and you won't be able to actually see the rainbow in your jar. So, start out with the heaviest, the thickest, the most dense liquid, which in our case here is the dish soap. So pull it up through the plunger, and then we're adding it to another clear container. I'm just using a jar. You can use an old jelly jar, a glass. You can use a fancy little jar if you want. The key is that you want to be able to see it through the sides, because otherwise you're looking down through the rainbow and you won't see any of the layers. This first layer you don't have to go quite so slow on because it's not mixing with anything else yet. So, as you can see, we have our blue for the base of our rainbow. Here's where you have to start being slow and careful and patient. If you add the water too quickly, what happens with soap and water? It gets foamy, it suds, it doesn't actually settle into our nice layers. So, we fill our syringe. And you don't want to just squirt it into the jar either. If you hold it against the tip, against the edge of the jar, and let it run slowly down, you'll see that the water just settles on top instead of actually mixing into the blue. We'll move our cups a little so we can get a better shot. Letting it run down the side. Again, an eyedropper, a turkey baster, a spoon, something that you can let it just run down the side instead of dropping it right in the middle or pouring it into the cup. Give it a moment and you can start seeing the layers separating here. You can add a little more green. Now we're on to the oil. And you know what they say about oil and water, that they don't mix. That's true, but you still have to go slowly, because while they don't mix, they can still make a mess and ruin the layers in your rainbow. So as always, go nice and slowly, letting it run down the side of your jar. If the yellow of the vegetable oil isn't yellow enough for you, you can always add food coloring before you start mixing as well. Slow and patient, remember. But it pays off because you're starting to see a whole series of layers now. And our last one, this one is just rubbing alcohol, like you might find in a first aid kit or cleaning supplies. We just added a little bit of red to make sure that you can see it compared to all of the other liquids that we've got in our jar. Also, as the least dense, it's going to be on top, so what else should a rainbow start with? As always, nice and slow. Now we're doing this experiment here with 4 different liquids that you can find around your house. That does not mean that you have to limit yourself to these, or even to liquids. What will happen if you dropped, say, paper clips into your jar? Would a paper clip or a marble or a Lego figure be more or less dense than, say, the soap or corn syrup or honey if you wanted to add something really thick? So feel free to experiment, add extra layers. The process is the same. You want to add them nice and slowly, give them a chance to settle, and see how they separate out. I'll move back so you can actually see our resulting rainbow. I'd love to see any pictures that you guys do at home. See how your rainbows come out. Did you add anything different? Did you add more layers? Did you add solids to see where they settle in? How dense are they compared to some of the liquids that we use? There's this and lots more kitchen type experiments found here, books at the library, and hopefully soon programs again once we open back up. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.